Picture
What happened, man?
Hey.
oh no, we got hacked. Government's out after us, bro.
Yeah, the
They're just
government shut us down, man.
talking shit.
We got too fucking late in here. The Zoom fire department had to come fucking shut it down.
All right, man. Top 3. Which one is it?
Personally,
So funny. These so many of these were like Bay Area or San Jose when we were smoking.
Can we
when
get
we were
cut
young.
for the shit on YouTube? Huh?
YouTube?
YouTube, we gotta worry about them. We can get this fucking video off.
Now we in.
Shout out to everybody that made this song. We don't fucking have any rights to this music. Let me just clarify that shit.
Shut the fuck up.
Any rights to this music that we're playing. Not for promotional use.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have rights to this fire ass.
Yeah. Of course we don't have rights to this fire ass music.
Yeah, we don't have rights to this fire ass music.
So, yo, he just dropped the wrong way to say the N-word.
So we're gonna just list our top 3.
Shit. So with the
Go back to right here.
that we're looking at that you have screened, that's not the top 3 that we were talking about.
What do you mean? Top
when it comes
3?
to the classic strains, want to go top 3? Top 3 of these bad boys? Is that what you want to talk about? Is that what you want to do, brother?
It's whatever.
Top 3, brother. Let's see. Damn, these are the classic strains. So when we were growing up in high school, when it was like, oh man, you got some weed? Oh man, we used to share like a gram. Remember, we always used to share a gram. We just have one blunt, and it'd be like fucking 6 of us, and that shit was lit. That was back when OG Kush,
I'll tell you what, man. OG Kush number
Train
1.
Purple
OG Kush number 1.
AK-47,
GDP's number 2.
Northern
And White
Lights,
Widow's number 3.
White
Let's
Widow.
go. That's my 3 shit. That's me, man.
Like everybody in the
OG
fucking
Kush,
world says
GDP,
that, bro.
White
They
Widow.
fucking mind.
What about you, Tess? What you got, man?
God
Let me
damn.
know. What you got? Who you got?
Well, I'm
what's
trying to fucking get to that. You fucking started talking, young
AK or AK-47. AK-47 is an honorable mention. For damn sure, I know that. That's an honorable mention,
I don't know. I was
bro.
about to talk about it.
That is an honorable mention. For sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What else? Let's talk.
That shit fucked me up.
Chaydez, you wanted to fucking
What do you
talk.
remember about AK-47?
I was fucking trying to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like you took a little too long.
Well, no, you fucking came in randomly. Because you want to fucking come in all
It's hella funny.
Jesus Christ. So I was saying, these were the strains in high school when we used to get fucking lit off, bro. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me fucking address it.
What is it?
What do you got?
What do you remember about AK-47?
It don't matter. What do you want? What do you got?
I already said my list.
What do you got, Brandon? You were fucking around in this fucking lifetime. What the fuck do you got?
I'm trying to.
What's your number 1 for sure?
AK-47.
Oh,
Northern Lights. Northern Lights. Northern Lights. Northern Lights. Northern Lights. Northern Lights.
Northern Lights is cool.
Then White Widow. Then OG Kush. Damn, AK-47 was dope.
It's got to be OG Kush, right? Isn't that a unanimous number one? It has to be.
At the time,
Or
personally, I
GDP,
like
one of
Northern
those
Lights.
two.
See, we're saying this
Honestly.
now in 2021, saying yeah, Northern Lights was cool. But
These
it's
are like classic
at the
shirts.
time, bro, Northern Lights was the shit. Northern Lights was known like I wouldn't say worldwide, but definitely nationwide. So obviously so was Kush, but it's like
All right, what's your number two then?
personally like Northern Lights. In order with Northern Lights, White Widow, and Kush, I would say back in high school, bro, if I could get some Northern Lights, bro, that'd get my nipples hard, dog. So I'm gonna go Northern Lights. Let's go OG Kush, then White Widow.
And what's the other one?
Northern Lights, OG Kush, then White Widow. I know you said the other one, but I'm just gonna say them all again.
Okay, so how come you don't like GDP?
GDP was cool, don't get me wrong, but those are just like my three fucking like of the ones we had listed, and there's more out there. So please leave a comment and fucking address some shit that we missed, and also leave your top three. So I like to hear.
What do y'all think?
What y'all like to
What's
dabble
number one?
in. What's number one? What do you like? What's number one?
OG Kush, man. Come on. Trainwreck was also fire too, though.
Yeah, Trainwreck had its moment.
Purple Haze.
Definitely had its moment. But yeah, for me personally, Northern Lights, OG Kush, then White Widow. Purple Haze, Trainwreck,
White
GDP,
Widow
classic,
was a cool
AK-47
banger, huh?
classic. Yeah, White Widow was dope,
It was always
bro.
solid.
Yeah.
It was always solid, man.
Fuck yeah. I mean, back in the day, technically, bro, when I just gave somebody $20 for weed, it was just fucking
fire.
weed. Yeah. It wasn't, there was no real names. But when you got the
What do you
name,
mean?
I mean, there were strains. But honestly, bro, like, because I like working in the weed industry, a lot of people just make up shit, bro. And selling weed,
Hell no,
like,
not my
word of
plugs,
mouth, bro.
Hell
Some
no.
people don't know. Some
That's not
people
my
when
plugs,
they get
bro.
no,
My plugs tell
you
me
say
what
that,
it is.
bro. Your plugs say that, bro.
No,
You'd
that's
be
not
surprised, dog. Hella people are like that, bro. I'm just saying it's. I'm not saying you have it
Maybe,
personally. Don't have it
but
like that.
they sell to
but
other
a
people
lot
that
of
are more
people-
serious about it
Yeah,
than me, and
but
I'm just a kid. I was just a kid at the time, and he was still
bro,
selling to us.
out there are
and he was
selling
selling
weed that they have no idea what the
Yeah.
fucking name of it is,
Nah.
and they'll just be like, "Oh, it's cookies," and it's like, "Yeah, that shit's gonna sell." That's just the way it is, bro.
Back then, Trainwreck looked like
Nobody-
Trainwreck. White Widow looked like White Widow, man. Honestly,
From
Yeah,
what
I
we
see.
know, bro, in high school, I was just like, "Let me
Dispensary-wise
smoke
now
that shit."
today, yeah, you're
That's
right.
all I was thinking in high school. I know we weren't looking at it like that in high school. I know for a fact. We were smoking and we were just happy to be smoking.
Hell yeah, we're just happy to fucking get a
Hey,
sack.
yeah, we got some tree,
White
bro.
Widow was distinct.
Oh, we don't
With
have
some
a
five
shit.
on it.
We're like, oh,
I'm
we're just happy. I mean, we probably were smoking
slapping
Bamber. We
links
didn't
in
know.
your hand. Yeah, bro. It was like, is that what the name it is? Cool. Let's fucking smoke it.
Yeah, like shit.
I was
got something.
We were not like when we got older, we got more fucking precise on shit. But but what I'm saying is, nonetheless, when people are selling you tree, like you don't like really you just take it for granted that's what it is. You know what I'm
You
saying?
just take their word for it, right? When they say, "Yeah, but it's good shit. It's just a
Yeah.
purple, good,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
the best shit, top shelf." And really, it's just the line. They're just trying to hype it up, and they didn't want to like sell a bad product.
Yeah. That goes back to the vote where it's like, would you rather go with your plug or we're gonna go with the fucking
I
dispensary?
don't know. I just remember being hella high.
That's
Like,
that,
really
you,
high.
you bring up a good
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Like it was
We were
never
always
like
hella
it
high,
was
bro. That
never
was it.
like it was never like something that I was like, what the hell? Not even like I was pretty blasted.
Yeah, especially because when it was just a
So
a
I don't
dub
know if
that
you
got
call
us
that
all
bad,
fucking
man.
lit. We were all getting lit off a dub. We just had enough money saved up for a blunt, and yeah, our lunch money. Yeah, that was high school, bro.
For real, yeah.
Yeah, just hoping that the weed was what they said the weed was. Hey, looking back into it now, how many fucking like bugs are in weed that people don't fucking pick out. Like, I wonder back then if we smoked any bugs, yeah?
Oh, I'm pretty sure everybody.
And anyways, we'll burn.
Yeah.
Everybody probably smoked a bug once or twice in their life.
You're right. Everybody had a smoke bug. That's crazy, bro. I was knowing that we done that shit. The way weed was back then too is just fucking crazy, man.
It's just so crazy how easy it is, right? Like, you have it delivered now. Like, I had my shit delivered the other day, and it's just like, man, back then it was just like, fuck, I have to like hit up a homie, and then like, you know, remember Millbrook and shit, 7th grade, you know, you kind of had to just, you know, tell him, you know, you're just a little kid around.
I don't remember that.
Meet up with the guy at the bridge and just like, what's up, you know, like all those. And now it's just, man, our generation just we experience both sides. That's why our generation's always just kind of like, you know, I don't want to say that like everyone's always, when we take things for granted, and most of the time I hear a lot about our generation being very like sad or depressed, you know, like it's because you know we have the time when it was like we experienced cassette tapes, CDs, MP3s. Now we know all it. We experienced.
We saw the transition of technology.
Exactly, like we experienced pre-internet and with post-internet, pre-social media, pre-YouTube, post-YouTube, pre like how we got weed, post how we get weed now. It's like
cool.
We're in the middle of everything, and that's why it's like, dang, we have like a different mindset of things. Just and that's why we always reminisce of the past. I think that's what our generation.
Yeah, you know, I feel like that's why every generation is like that. Every generation, there's always that generation. I'm part of it now. I'm part of our generation's version of our parents, where we were like, this isn't music, you know, that shit where it's like real music is the music that I grew up with. And the generation before that said the same shit. But personally, I mean, realistically though, there is a dumbing down of music.
Exactly.
I mean, but we're not gonna think about that when we come to samples and all that at the end of the day. So we're like the top dogs that you're gonna hear in the future. Really, in my opinion, aren't as good as the top dogs that were when we grew up, like Outkast. Personally, I'm gonna say G-Unit, but like Dipset, fucking. I know I'm just saying East Coast dudes, but like That Connection, Game, fucking all the rappers that we grew up with are gonna eventually fade out. The legends are gonna stay forever.
I agree, man. Like, I think when we talk about just hip hop in general, hip hop music, I guess in my opinion, from a technical standpoint, it hasn't improved. But I guess more so the younger generation, they like it because of how it sounds and, you know, how cool. But when you think about it as far as lyrically and like, you know, like the flow and how the beat is structured and all that, it seem like, it doesn't seem as advanced as how our shit used to be. So it's just...
That's what I think. I think Lil Yachty is doing ASMR rap, in my opinion. And ASMR is eventually gonna find its way into the rap industry, and like end up finding a place to where like lo-fi. Lo-fi is very popular because I feel like there's ASMR
hella
sounds.
chill though.
Yeah, because it's hella chill. Exactly.
Nah, it's too
there's ASMR sounds in there, but there's a reason why it's popular. And I feel like eventually there's gonna be ASMR sounds in rap and hip hop, and like people are gonna find the way to use their voice to the point where like really tingles the listener's ear. And and it's not a lot. They're just gonna give you the little doses that make you keen for it. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Yachty's voice, I can't fucking stand it.
Nah, y'all are tripping, dog.
He has you see what I'm saying? You got people like fucking Chaydez over here that fucking love this fucking guy.
I don't love him.
Hey, shut up, fool. This fool sharing his song.
I acknowledge the sound.
This fool has
I have respect for the sound, but like, I don't love it. I love Tupac sound. I don't love Yachty sound, but I acknowledge it. I respect it.
That's not what you said. You said Yachty was a top 10.
I ain't bashing it. I know that. because like I feel like music is always on the frontier.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna
Everything
stay
is.
lost and static and fixed in a certain time of music, then you're not challenging and testing your sound. You know what I mean? Testing different sounds and how you can hear them and appreciate them. Like the way Yachty spits on a verse or all these other like modern rappers, like none of the old school rappers can do that because it's too outside of the box. It's too creative. It's too this or that. You know what I mean? It's a little vulnerable too.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? But that melody is still created.
So
it's still its own like creation. That's what's like crazy about it. And
that's the reason why Lady
Gaga
Gaga is popular.
I can respect that.
Or like Lady Gaga.
Them going out their way to create a melody like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, lyrically it's
they're
not
fads.
great, but the melody,
fads.
the beat, it's shining those elements within the track as opposed to the lyricism that was MC dominated through the 90s, 2000s. You know what I mean? Before it, it's like let music evolve and embrace the change, and let it evolve to something great. Maybe later on it comes back to you.
No, but at the end of the day, there's songs and artists in every generation that's good, and they stick around. But there's certain artists, like I'm saying, that there's like I was saying earlier, there's a dumbing down that they're trying to do, and I feel like certain artists are eventually gonna still find a way to survive, because it went to like our generation was like lyrics, like I'm very lyrically orientated when it comes to the artists that I listen to, but like nowadays it's like, oh yo, that's a dope ass beat, you know what I'm saying?
It's a vibe, like song, it's basically a vibe. You're vibing out.
What do you guys think about this?
What do you looking too deep into it? You're just vibing.
What are you trying to say, Eddie? I heard what you're gonna say, Chaydez.
I'm trying to say, what do you think about like you know how like because you're talking about new artists and then how it was back then, how we used to listen to artists. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about those old artists that we used to listen to and they switch up their style to accommodate to today's kind of trend or today's kind of rapping? What do you think about that? Because there's some artists that do that. Some of them stick to the same script or the same freestyle pattern, but now they switch it up to like they sound like the new guys. Yeah,
like so, like for example, like they would like how you would rap like the 90s to 2000 rap, or it was just normal, like you're just rapping on the flow to the beat. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. Like nowadays, like I've noticed a lot of modern rappers, which I've found a better way to do it because Chaydez just simplified it a lot easier for me. Modern rappers, they
modern music.
There's like for even like the trap sound, like you hear rappers so like the rap flow like that is like a lot that you would not hear that back then when we were growing up. So like when you're talking about that, like a rapper from growing up from the 90s, trying to get into this like the more modern sounds, as long as I feel that they're rapping about the same thing they used to rap about, then it's like gives a shit. But 'cause, like nowadays people like the only way to still make money is to stay relevant. Relevancy is key. So if you're relevant enough, you're still going to be making money. So that's just the way they see it, bro. If you're like everybody, like everything, not everything's a fad, bro. It's a fad. Like all these like trap music, like everybody it's a staple.
There's always new rhyme schemes for sure, right? Like from the old school, like original rhyme scheme, like I said a hit, hop, a hippie, we all know that, right? And then the 90s were like like some Bone Thug shit. And then like more recently, it's more like I've been hitting on the and like now it's like it's even like it's like slower, right? It's more like I don't know the brass, right? You know what I mean? It's like rhyme schemes always change, but as far as like an old artist coming up with a new rhyme scheme and it's out because his shit's quote unquote outdated. Sometimes it's kind of fun. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean personally, like that's what I'm saying. It's relevancy. All of it has to do with like, are you a part of the newest sound that I like? and eventually artists that we like fall off because they're not able to do the new sound, or they're not willing to go along with the new sound. Um, so artists that we like, artists that are like hot right now, if they can't get with the next sound, they're gonna fall off if they're not good enough, or they're not willing to sell out, I guess, and I guess you could say in certain terms, and go on with the next phase.
There are
But
some artists that stay true to the game, like
Yeah,
KRS-One still raps the same. He's not as
Yeah.
big and popular, but he still sells like records online. You know, his audience is world renowned. Same thing for like that rapper Evidence. Evidence, like he's been rapping the same way since he's been rapping since Dilated Peoples, you know, and he has like that European market, you know. But
I'm
as
not
that
talking
national
about,
attention, like on radios and getting awards, going to BET Awards, Oscars, Grammy, yeah, I agree. You got to rhyme a certain way to the quote unquote, like, I don't know, construct or like agenda that they're going for, whatever that is, you know?
I'm not talking about success though. I'm talking about like just taste in music, you know. In
Well,
general,
taste
you know
is
what I mean?
different
Like,
for everybody, you know?
yeah, but I'm not talking about like who's successful and who's modern. But what I'm talking about was if it's modern or vintage sound or retro sound, alternative, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, then if you want to go taste, then taste is personal.
yeah. So I'm just talking
So
about that.
yeah,
I'm not talking about like.
that's why I'm like,
who
hey,
sounds
I don't agree with a lot of shit. Fucking the trash Chaydez plays on the fucking car rides. But hey, it is what it is, because that's what he fucking thinks is good music.
There's a lot of shit I still haven't played.
Yeah, but there's other stuff that, like, yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of stuff that we have. That's the beautiful thing about music, you know. It can be trash, and there's gonna be trashy people that like that trashy music.
Yeah. There's music you play I don't like, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's music that I listen to from fucking Australian fucking experimental fucking music, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It's not for fucking everybody.
That's a good one though.
They like,
so right,
but it's like they have a fucking big following, and they're doing some crazy. They're doing what you think is like pushing the fucking envelope, and like it's really experimental. It's labeled experimental, and that's what they do. Is like music is beautiful because they're constantly pushing boundaries, trying to find the next fucking sound. And next thing that sticks on the wall and stays there, they're gonna run with, you know.
What do y'all think?
I think that's the good thing about like music as an art compared to like, you know, as a fighter or a boxer. You know, it's easier to tell. Like, so it's a very subjective when it comes to like music. You know, for example, when it comes to boxing, you know, you got Jake Paul that won and beat Ben Askren, and everyone just thinks he's like the best boxer ever. Right? They think he's the best boxer ever now, but really, it's like he really fought nobody. No real boxer, but the public, the young kids don't know that, right?
Mayweather's the best, but
really
like he only fought people he wants to fight.
Yeah, but they think he's so good. Think of it as a music standpoint now. Like kids don't know what they like. Like think about an 8-year-old, right, or 10-year-old. They don't know what's good, what's considered good, but whatever they hear on the radio, around the peers, whatever the major production company or music labels are pretty much pumping, they consider it good. Just because everyone's like it. Imagine if we just had a music label where it just consisted of just 4 of us. We were just rapping, and you know, obviously we're on a different level compared to the professionals. But imagine we had our own little town where that town only just heard us. They'll probably say we're the best ever because the label is only pumping our music. So who's ever in charge is pretty much are telling people what's good and what's not. Imagine if we got rid of all these mumble rappers and we just went straight to a new generation where it's just 90s hip hop again. They're only pumping that. It's only played in all the radio stations, and they'll just think it's good still because kids don't know what's good. They just hear whatever and they believe what's good with their friends.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you gotta think though too, is that what music was back when we were growing up? Like, because that's
we just thought it was good because, you know, you see what's hot, right? We see Top One or whatever. We see them selling records.
Now, though, same thing as kids now.
But I guess what's different is that the music labels are specifically targeting, especially A&Rs. They're specifically targeting these certain artists because they're different. That's the thing. You know, it's as a kids, they always for sure. Again, when I say kids don't know what they like, but I know for sure what they don't like, and it's always what their parents like. They always want to go opposite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's why
fucking
music labels
Chaydez over
pump
here.
this shit. They always want the new sound because it's not gonna
No,
sell. Because
you guys need to be
like
more
taking little
open-minded
shots.
about music. You guys are overthinking this shit.
Yeah. No,
it's
I
always
feel
been like
though.
it always
Like what
the
you like,
rebellious
man.
side of music
You're right,
always
Chaydez.
is what the new generation would like.
Awesome.
It's always been like that since the beginning age of with jazz. When swing came, swing was cool because I was for the kids, and jazz guys were like, "That's not jazz,"
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I
you got
mean, here's what I do agree though. Like that modern music, like it's sparse. Like there's not a lot of good music from that
no. I mean,
genre.
I agree, but good
there
is so
are
subjective when
pockets
it
of
comes to
great
music, though, man.
sounding
That's
music from
the
there,
thing.
that style.
Like,
Yeah.
And like
like
I
I said,
appreciate
just
those. That's the ones that I play, and that I appreciate. But like, yeah,
Yeah, but like I said to Sonny, it's not technically sound when you think about it. It's like the beat sounds simple,
Yeah.
the lyricism is whatever, the content, the words they're using, it's just like what the fuck. And sometimes you can barely hear what they're saying. You can mumble rap, you can't hear what they're saying, so it's not even about the message or the words anymore. Now it's just about how cool it sounds.
Dog.
It's just about how
and
cool
there's
it sounds.
nothing wrong with that because you're
There's nothing wrong with
the
it. I'm not saying
production.
I'm not a hater of it. I'm
and
just saying that
DJ
like it's just not
of it,
me.
You know what I mean?
It's a fucking
You
music,
appreciate
dog.
it's not the MC
Shots
this
and
time.
shots.
It's
We
not the
haven't taken a
rapper.
shot
It's the
in, like,
producer and
10
DJ this
since we
time.
came back.
And like that's dope, dog.
Hey.
Like that's like it's not as what I mean. Like we're so used to the rapper being the fucking shine and shit. It's like
Hey, to
like,
fucking
okay,
music,
the beat
dog.
is
That's
fucking
cool.
raw.
I'm gonna
Like
take the
it's
shot to fucking music.
You know what I mean? That's why I appreciate it.
Chaydez wants to take a shot. Chaydez take a
Yeah.
shot.
I mean,
His shot
there's-
to thoughts. I'm gonna take a shot to fucking music over here.
I can live with the
Fuck
lyricism
yeah.
because the beat is nice.
Fucking music.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Like, I haven't listened enough of his music, man, but I'm not really like too crazy about Travis Scott, man. You know,
See,
I'm not like
As an artist-
It's not me, man. I'm not hating, but it's just everything sounds the same. I sound like an old guy when I say that.
yeah.
I sound hella old when I say that.
That's
But
the thing, though. Some people like AC/DC because they never fucking changed up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Metallica tried to switch up, and people stopped becoming fans.
Dude, the Beatles switched up hella times and people fucked with them every time.
Yeah, but
Can't
that's,
be scared.
that's what I'm saying.
Dude.
It's
Like,
different.
fucking-
It's different. It's different for.
that was a different generation though too.
That's
It's just
true too.
there was less
And
artists.
that's what's
out
great
there.
about
now.
music.
There's just so many
man, and,
people.
like, you gotta embrace everything. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, embrace everything. Don't fucking turn your nose up to something because there might be something good. Just take a listen, bro. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Just listen to fucking music. Give it a fucking chance. There's some
Yeah.
fucking lit ass country out there that nobody's listening to because everyone thinks that country's fucking whack.
it's not true, man. I think people that hate on country, they just don't understand it, man. It's just
Yeah.
if you drive on the road long enough, country becomes like the best shit to listen to.
Hey. Yeah.
It grows on you, and you just like it becomes like
there's just one thing for
Country.
sure, guys, when it comes to hip hop, though, right? So the thing that's for sure that's part of the recipe of hip hop will make it successful for generations to come, and that ingredient is it has to sound cool and it has to sound hella masculine and hard. You know what I mean? If it isn't, that shit's gonna die. And it's not gonna do well. The past generations of hip hop, it was always kind of like for the young men to be like, yeah, you know what, this is considered dope. This is considered cool. This makes me feel makes me feel like a man. But the time when it doesn't, I don't know if that artist or whoever is gonna do well. I mean, but when you think
Hey,
about everything
I've
from
seen
like,
I
like
feel
the
like-
song "Real Friends" by Kanye.
oh yeah, what about it?
That's kind of a new sound, right? Wouldn't you say? Like when it came out, it was new in some way.
I like that song too, but I don't know, man. It's
It's like
just
considered a modern sound, right? When it came out. And
that was the Life of Pablo, right?
yeah, and like
Yeah.
like like because that shit
Okay.
existed, it allowed
Yeah.
for that kind of music to exist, you know.
Oh.
Like
I like that song though. I mean, I don't really
Like,
consider that
if
song
it was
too,
like still like 90s, like Kanye would have
Gen
probably
Z.
never even made that shit. He would have made like a 90s sound and produced it sound. You know?
That's
So like that's
yeah.
what I'm saying about like the wave.
But that's
you gotta
what,
just
that's what makes Kanye
it's
dope
good to
though.
write
That's
it, you know,
Kanye's had longevity. Kanye's had longevity though because of shit like that. Because he's
And
been able
that was his goal
constantly
too.
push boundaries. Because that's why Kanye's been dope since he was young, bro. We've known Kanye before the car injury. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know Kanye was in a fucking car accident.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know Kanye fucking before Through the Wire. Some people even know Through the Wire. And don't even know fucking Dropout. You know, college dropout.
Yeah, college dropout. Yeah. You know, you brought up the point, being relevant, right? And that's something that Kanye has always aimed for every album. So I think not only that Kanye wanted to stay relevant for years to come, he was also already inclined to always just drop a new sound. That was always his style. He always just experimenting. So it worked hand in hand in his favor. But now at his point now, it kind of just seems like his reign is over now. Or you never know.
Kanye's reign's over, but
he's gonna come back.
He's gonna have hidden gems here and there. Drop.
Yeah,
he's always gonna have that.
I mean, they're dropping that documentary eventually on Netflix. It's gonna be dope. It's 21 years in the making of this Kanye documentary that will be released Netflix. I guess in the summer. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, man, is like it's good to appreciate other sounds of music. Like if a rock band always focused on the singer, you know, like what about the bass or the, you know, like it's like thinking of it like that, you know,
no
like
focuses on the basis
if it's the produce, if it's the production, if it's the beat that's knocked, you know what I mean, and like at a high standard, you know, but the vocalism is just like at a fucking mediocre standard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like when the beat is hella dope and the rapper's hella dope, that's hella better, right? But what if the rapper's hella dope, the beat's
Peter,
whatever, you know?
Can you name me like top 5 like young Gen Z rappers right now?
Young rappers that
or Gen Z rappers that's catered to Gen Z.
Okay, so like I fuck with like Pop Smoke for sure. I fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like Juice World, of course. I know he's a little older though, but you know, that's from that time.
You know what, man? I only know one song of Pop Smoke, and it's just because he's sampled the fucking Genuine song.
For sure. Future for sure.
Hey, the Woo's dope.
Future's hella dope too.
Future is not Gen Z, but I mean, he was like right before. He was like the end of our kind of like our generation, like around.
Lil Uzi's cool. Lil Uzi has a handful of good songs, man.
Lil Uzi's like
yeah. I like Lil Durk, even though didn't he die?
Lil Durk.
I don't listen to that.
I think Lil Durk's dope.
I listen to Lil Mosey, Lil Pump. Also,
you listen to Lil Pump? Oh shit!
Maybe only one song I like.
Oh shit!
I listen to like selective songs. That's why I don't listen to all of them. I listen selective because they have.
What about
really good?
What about K-Camp?
One hit wonder.
Who
is K-Camp Generation Z or is that millennial?
I don't even know who K-Camp is, man. Who's that?
He has a lot of good songs. Like his most famous one is the "Comfortable" song. It was like a summertime song.
Yeah, I don't even know why I don't know this guy. What the hell?
Yeah, he's pretty big, bro. I think he's been around for like almost 10 years now or something.
Also,
this guy's our age though. I don't even really. I wonder what songs he dropped.
Yeah, because this music's cool.
I know some people. There's maybe like three songs from like Trippie Redd on like 3 or 4. That's about it. But they're okay. They're actually different. Yeah, it's pretty sick though.
Yeah, it's damn, yeah, I haven't really got into any of these new rappers, man. My age has really been showing lately.
It's hard to sometimes.
No, the shit I
ain't gonna lie, fucking Chaydez is the reason why I know damn near fucking 3/4.
Nah, hell no, dude. Those
fucking
those fools are old
fucking
now. Now it's about like little baby, this fool, that's
little
this
baby.
fool. I'm just
Yeah,
like, I
you know
don't
what,
like,
little
I don't
baby.
listen to those fools, man.
Little baby's
I listen to
actually
like Cuddy
pretty
Bangs,
decent.
Pop Smoke, like Lil Mosey.
I feel like
maybe,
I'll fuck with
Lil
Lil Baby
Skies
if I
and
were to
shit,
try, but
Skies, you know what I mean? And like,
Hey, is
tough,
Post
man.
Malone technically one?
Hey, but Pop Smoke is like our
It's
age.
like
Wait, wasn't he like
it's
28,
tough with
29?
Post Malone, man, but he's
Hey.
not. He has that sound where a lot of people our generation like, though. You know, we
Yeah.
fuck with Post Malone.
He was a good merger. Yeah,
Yeah,
good merge.
It's that rap singing shit where we can't label it, and that like
Yeah.
when Drake did a lot of rap singing, Post Malone, and now you have all these other guys doing the rap singing. Like you guys heard of Guap Dad? He's kind of doing that too. No, kind of like that Bryson Tiller kind of thing, man.
That's a dope name though, Quab Dad.
Yeah.
Might check him out though.
Yeah,
Just off the fucking name.
Oakland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, he has that. He has like a single, dude, where it's actually pretty dope, man. He's like that Bryson Tiller, Post Malone kind of, rapping, singing, and shit like that, but it's not really singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
the
hipsters call it trap soul.
That's what they say.
All right, so you know what, Enoch? Why don't you just put yourself on mute for a little bit?
What the hell are you talking about? Hey, trap soul is a good genre, man. You're right.
No,
that's a good genre.
Hey, if that's the name of the genre, then yeah, that's just dope.
It's a good genre.
Good ass name for a genre.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Bryson Tiller comes from that genre. He's one of the fucking
older, smaller.
One of the grandfathers of that shit. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the ones that put it on.
It's like
plenty others, like Future and well, not trap soul. We trap soul. You talk about like
Bryson Tiller so I asked you
quick.
guys like what artists are you into that are like post 2014? Because 2014 we're like 23 years old, right? Now that we're like 30, it's like it's hard. Well, Post Malone was like already like coming up. Like he was like before
Post Malone was past 2014, bro.
What was it when he drive White Iverson was what 2014?
Yeah, it was 2014. I thought.
Was he?
Yeah, I think it was probably could have been before too. When you think of
I was gonna say after 2014. Hey, I
like Post Malone though, dude. You're right though. But I asked you though, like, because I think about like the artists I really liked, 2015 and before. I always just think about like Joey Badass or Chance the Rapper, But anything. And then anything after, it's like, fuck, I haven't really been into an artist, But I do have to say, if it's Post Malone, we put it in that category. I put Post Malone as just the only one. Then any other artists, I don't know, man. I don't know if I fuck with any other artists.
Like the Monterey.
Hey, what was it?
Unless I'm forgetting someone, man. But it's hard. I mean,
wait, you're talking about post 24? Definitely
post 2014.
Like
yeah, like other like I guess Post Malone's our only one with me and Sonny.
Hey, the baby's actually all right, dude. I don't think the baby's.
He's only got like a handful of songs, maybe.
I guess yeah.
But that's the thing. He just started, bro,
and he hit like songs. Got like a dozen. But like,
yeah, I feel that. Like,
well, honestly, if you look at
it's because we could at least like understand them,
yeah, exactly.
What about you, Enoch? What do you think, man? Shit, nothing.
I don't know.
You gotta say. I forgot what we were talking about already.
That's why I feel like the low key like the being able to understand people that flow like that 90s flow is always gonna have a longevity. Because if you look at people like even like I guess what younger people consider older rappers like J. Cole, like he can still drop a hit, bro, and
and Kendrick,
flow. Yeah, Kendrick too, yeah, just regular flows, bro. And I feel like that's always, even though you're gonna have to have the right beat, the right sound, right everything, but I feel like that's a solid recipe still.
Yeah. It's always this, man. Like, I mean, you just look at Drake, right? He's definitely not that Gen Z rapper. He doesn't have that sound, but he's still dropping hits, man. So
yeah, he's in his own lane though. That's the thing. I feel like he's like you said, like he kind of did that singing, rapping, emotional. I'm gonna talk about like he's like the Taylor Swift to rap. I'm gonna talk about my ex. Like that's what he did for like the longest time. Like it was all breakup songs. I'm in my
He really
feelings.
did fucking. He was the first one to really blow up like that, man. Because I
And,
remember back then when he started blowing up, like 2011, people were confused. I remember they were like, "Do we call him R&B? Do we call him hip hop?" Like people were hella confused.
Yeah, because it was like, is he
different
really
vibe to
a
it.
rapper? Is he really a fucking rapper? Like, still, like I debate that fucking topic. But
but he's still hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And like that's
for sure. Everyone,
look, dude. If you're hearing these new songs drop with a filter, like
yeah,
you're blocking yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're blocking
that's
yourself to hearing a new sound that's right in front of your face.
That's what I was saying before.
You gotta appreciate the sounds that are there and then make a judgment, you know what I mean? But don't let you bias just like, oh, lyricism is shit, you know, or it needs to have a message, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's an artist.
Nonetheless,
it's an artist.
No, fuck that.
If he's trying to get his money,
that's
like,
a big
whatever,
fucking
like,
no in my opinion.
Like,
because if you're paid,
the producer's trying to get his money too. He's doing a different approach.
And to write lyrics on the song, you know I mean? If I'm hearing what you're saying, then if you're just like the beat, then like the fucking beat. If you're a rapper, then have fucking lyrics, bro. Mean fucking something. If not, then you're a fad and you're gonna erase. You're gonna be erased from existence. If you're just talking that bullshit, bro, nonetheless, you're gonna be erased from existence eventually. You're gonna have your 15 minutes of fame. That's gonna be dope. But if you're not talking about anything realistically, then it's like, what the fuck's the point of listening to you? In my opinion, that's the pinnacle of dumbing down fucking people. If the point where it's like, yeah, he's not really talking about anything, but I like the beat, then fucking listen to the beat, bro. That's like, that's the, like I'm saying, that's the pinnacle of dumbing people down because it's like, that's the fucking, that's what pisses me off about music, bro. That's what I'm saying. I love music, but it pisses me off sometimes. And that's what pisses me off.
People are dumbed down.
Yeah,
I want to elaborate on that though. I want to hear more of what he's saying.
Fuck, bro. So it's like, yeah. So there's music is music, bro. So it's a broad painting with a broad brush. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about music, but
yeah,
if your job is to rap and write lyrics and you're not talking about anything or making sense in your lyrics, then it's like, bro, you're writing off the beat. That's fucking dope. But eventually, you're
so
bullshit.
David, when you hear that, do you feel cheated? Do you feel cheated?
I feel cheated as fuck. Like a mother. That's what low key. You know what? I think that's what kind of fuels it. That there's a little anger there. That I like people could write lyrics and take time and like to put their life and soul into it.
Do you feel like these artists are not? Do you feel like they're not talented then, or you don't feel like they're at a level of artistry
I think that there's an agenda. Even like when we were younger, the reason why we like gangster music, or like me, for example, personally, I like hearing gangster music sometimes. It gets me going. But it's like, why do I like that? Is it because I grew up listening to a lot of that? And why is that so popular? Because I feel like there's an agenda behind a lot of what becomes popular at times. And I think that the fact that there's so much, I'm sorry to say it, but there's so much fucking retarded music out now. That
there is though. Yeah, there is.
I feel like we should agree at some level that there's a lot of more retarded music out.
You're right. And, it's missing a message.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And but it's like that's the goal now. I feel like that's what they want to be hot. Like in the 90s, in the early 90s, we wanted that rebel fucking going against the grain rebel shit. I know I said rebel twice. But that thug gangster shit. And but that was also a time when private prisons became a thing. And I found out that I mean it's a conspiracy theory, I guess, at the end of the day. But when private prisons became a thing and people started like the 3 strike and you're out, the thing Bill Clinton passed.
Well, I think there's an underlying message or movement behind the hip hop back then. What it was leading to and why it inspired us and why there was something that was driving us for us to like it too. And now when we finally finished all that, the music now today, it's kind of like everyone's just partying and just fucking just chilling, and there's no future for it. You know, we're not. It's like it seems
that's
like
the agenda though that dumb us down, bro. In my opinion,
the agenda right now is just
down.
everyone's just partying and just getting fucked up and not caring now. Back then, it was all like fight the power, right? Go against the system, talking about how corrupt the government is and why they're also not giving us aid, this and that, and go ahead.
All of that leads to eventually going against the grain leads to criminal activity. And what I'm saying is the reason why now America is the biggest fucking like private prison owner and then has the highest like capital like population of prison just in general, all that shit, like it's like why the fuck do we have that for? It's because people are gaining wealth off of that. And it's also the same people that are running the music industry.
Yeah.
And it's like you're persuading minds and you persuaded people to love the, I guess, criminal aspect and knowing that they're going to profit off people loving that criminal aspect and wanting to dabble and dip their toes into it. So, like, I know personally I'm a part of that. But knowing that I'm a part of that and stepping out, taking a step back and seeing what's really going on, that people are trying to get dumbed down.
How
and
big
that people
of a
are feeding into it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, why don't y'all see that this is what's going on? And instead of like hyping it up, we should, like you said, we should try to hype up like more, and not just conscious rap, but just like talking about something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just talking about nothing. And and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
That you guys talk about the industry.
Yeah, that's music in general. That's the industry and everything, bro. That's the industry of fucking life because they're creating hype. Who's creating the hype? You know what I'm saying? And that's like
it's the major labels, man. Whatever they're showing to the crowd with masses.
Yeah,
it's just they're the ones that's control what's being shown to the kids, and what's considered good or what's considered not good. You know, like again, like I tell you, kids don't necessarily know what's good or not or what's bad. It's always up to I sometimes from here and there I do see some young kids that know a lot about hip hop and they know the history, and I'm like, oh shit, man, this what's up, and then they tell me like, oh yeah, man, I grew up with my uncles and my dad. I'm like, oh, because they're showing them the way. They're getting educated. They have a father figure that's showing them the history and guiding them to the right path. But other ones, they don't know shit. And they're just like, got a lot of white kids that are like 14 years old. They're like, oh, is this what all the black kids are liking? Oh, okay, this is what these guys are considered cool. Fuck Nas, it's all about Lil Uzi Vert or whatever, They don't know better. It's just whatever the media and their friends are saying is good because they don't know shit. And that's the sad part of it. But it's just, but at the end of the day, Peter, I'm not trying to hate on Gen Z music. I'm not saying it's not hip hop. It's still all hip hop.
What do you mean by that? Define what you mean by Gen Z, though. How do you define Gen Z?
Gen Z is Gen Z. Like there's this generation age where what they.
It's like it was anybody born after the year like 1999 or.
It's like post 2000, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is post 2000, but it's even
like 2000
in the
after.
90s. It starts like 96 or something.
It's probably late 90s, maybe like 90. Yeah, you're right, like 96, 98, whatever. But like we made it where we're like we're millennials, right? So
millennials.
Hell no.
That's just the way it is, bro. That's Chaydez. That's the way it is, baby. We're millennials. Your nephew, your cousins, your younger cousins that was here the other day. Those are Gen Zs. We are millennials. That's just the way it's documented. And who creates these names, I don't know. But that's the generation we fall in.
Eventually, we're gonna be called boomers now.
God damn, bro.
What people were like, okay, boomer. It's always
boomers,
like a negative
fucking
term. Just you don't know shit, or you're just too old now, right? Or just
But so is millennials. That's another thing when we're talking about like agendas. I think when we're talking like agendas and shit, like they're trying to in the news right now. When they say millennials, it's never like good. They're usually criticizing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, millennials are doing this. They're trying to pretty much silence our voice already. Like any opinion that we have is
Oh shit. Where's Pete at? Oh, I can't hear you, Sonny.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Sonny, because I think Peter left his.
But it's like back then, I feel like I guess an analogy that I was thinking of back then was kind of like the drug dealer music. Nowadays, it's the drug user music. People take
It really is, though.
You know
It really
what I mean?
is a drug. It just seems like this generation, yeah, they are using so many drugs, and they're at this phase where we're not fighting the system, or like we're not fighting against police brutality, we're not fighting against the government. We're just chilling now and partying. There's nothing wrong with partying, but they're partying so much to the point where they're just fucking rotting their brains now. They're not fucking elevating their minds. It's the fucking. There's nothing wrong with it, man. There's always a time and place for it, but a lot of it's just like, oh yeah, is because like what kind of conscious rapper is really famous out there right now? It's in Gen Z. Like I can't really think of it.
Yeah.
Who's the J. Cole's and Kendricks of Jay-Z? Like who's the Nas and like Nas and Pac of Gen Z? I don't know. Like
my little problem with Gen Z is that like you said, you like that was a good analogy. Like who's the Nas of this time, the Tupac of this time? No one wants to be a leader. In Gen Z, no one wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be like, oh, it's not all. I'm doing my own thing, but you go ahead and like. No one wants to actually take the helm or take the bull by the horns and actually be like, yo, okay, I'm representing Gen Z. I'm doing this. Everybody's just like trying to, because I feel like because at the time J. Cole's still number one. Well, Lil Wayne can still make a record. Drake can make a record. So like they, until they stop making music, then these people like they'll take it upon themselves to be like mature enough to be like, I'm a leader.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just those. I can't really blame it on these new rappers, right? Because that's just not them. They were raised by that, that political like fight the power mindset. They weren't revolutionary like that. These are the guys that really don't know shit and they're just vibing and chilling. So
you're gonna see in not this coming generation, but the generation that's influenced after. I think you're gonna see a lot more because you're gonna start getting kids that are raised by us.
Yeah.
And
let me say this to you guys.
That's a good point.
Hella Collectibles just joined the fucking building.
Oh shit, crazy.
Yo, what's up, yo?
Go ahead, Eddie. What you saying? Go ahead.
But yeah, so
if
were you saying me or
revolutionary, right, as you're saying? Well, what do you think about in the last 7 years? In the last 7 years, there's been a lot of civil unrest with the Black Lives Movement. There's a lot of the Asian hate. Like people are protesting a lot more. Is that not evidence to show that? Is it collectively the Gen Z, millennials, and people older that collectively going out, or is it just a certain like it's just only Gen Z that's protesting, or like it's the millennials? You know what I mean?
I think Gen Z are doing their part to stay active, but a lot of the millennials have been the one that's been really like pushing it. Everything's been going on lately for sure. But just to add to what you were saying about what Teddy said about like the next generation will be a little more upgraded because we're the one raising these kids, and I totally agree with that too. And then just to add on to it is just because there's always like the waves, dude. Like I guess there's always going to be like a golden age that's going to come back. I'm not saying that what we had in 2000, like 2008, between 2013 was the golden age of hip hop, but it was a resurgence where we're like, all right, we got some new sound that had elements of like 90s feel,
Yeah.
And it's like stock market, and everything. There's always like a way where, okay, we have this resurgence and this is going to die down. I think we're just in our depression right now, our Great Depression of real hip hop content. And I feel like eventually we're going to get pushed past this point and we're going to see something good again within the next like 5 years. I think, we're going to see a different change and we're going to see more J. Cole's and Nas's and Kendrick's. There's always like a phase like that. And I think we're in the downturn of it right now.
That's what I'm saying. Everything we're listening to now is a phase. And if you can't stay with the long, if you're not good enough, you're eventually gonna find out who's was good and who wasn't. Because even back then, like there's artists that my dad listened to that were dope, but they just couldn't last, and there's names that fade out in history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, like
I'm not worried about all that.
No one knows.
I think with this Gen Z music right now, the artists like Travis Scott already seems like an artist that's everyone's still gonna always remember. He's already hit like I don't think he ever hit his plateau yet. He's just has a lot of accolades already in his fucking in his career. But I try to think about other rappers right now. Like, I see Lil Yachty or Lil Pump or any of these guys that's going to be remembered. They're just going to be those other guys that, like, yeah, I remember they had their little run. It's kind of like when we say about, like, yeah, I remember when Young Jock had his run.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
boy,
exactly.
it's like one of those rappers, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But yeah.
But all these fads, man, all these fads are eventually, like I said, they're eventually gonna come, they'll go. Like everything, there's fads that we listen to. Like eventually, no one's gonna know who the fuck Lil Jon is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, who else? T-Pain, Akon.
I just wanted to say, I
listen
know
to
last time we had, you guys remember? You guys had the Shots and Thoughts episode. You guys did the Lil Jon versus T-Pain.
Yeah.
Majority of us picked Lil Jon, and I think that was unanimous. I don't think there's no split decision on that. But like, the funny thing is that you know, fucking, if it wasn't for Lil Jon, man, the hyphy movement would never have been big as it was. You know that?
That's the thing, bro. That's one thing. People like the beautiful thing about the Bay Area. There's no other place like the Bay Area except for Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta's style, and probably Houston. Atlanta. There's certain people that styles and like the culture that people have there that
because I'll tell you what, man, because
like a triangle.
Because if it wasn't for Lil Jon, right, for his contribution to the hyphy movement, we never would have had a crazy, amazing 2004, 2005, 2006. Because
wasn't E40 signed to Lil Jon's label too for a while?
Yeah,
that was
when Mac Dre passed away, right? We're bumping all his hits. Kick the Stick blew up too. But when we think about one of the most popular songs in the hyphy movement, what's like number one, number two, number three, or like what's top three? Tell me when to go, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me when to go.
Tell me when to go.
Tell me when to go, guys.
Yeah.
You guys know who's Tell Me When to Go? Fucking Lil Jon. And it's just like, Lil Jon produced Tell Me When to Go. And I think more than half of E40's My Ghetto Report Card album, Lil Jon produced more than half of those tracks.
Yeah, because he was signed to his label, I think. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure he was signed to his label.
So it's just like, damn, imagine if Lil Jon didn't make that beat. Tell Me When to Go. It's like, what the fuck?
Bro.
How would it,
you're right. That's fucking true. I'm telling you, bro, if you go to Atlanta and then you end up like dealing with like Atlanta people, you're gonna feel a fucking resemblance of fucking
Atlanta's dope, dude. Atlanta's like I don't want to like disrespect or try, but it sounds like the new like